Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to Fallout, and we're doing. Pretty sure this is actually the how to start the New California stuff, which also had something involving robots. If you were playing a robot, we had an additional patch that I forgot I downloaded. That include that. Well, just so you know, I also set my level back to 1 because I remember reading somewhere that if you go from level 2 to if you get like level up from level 2 to level 3, then it like fucks up the New California opening somewhat. So I figure I might as well just start at level 1. I'm gonna keep my perk here. The confirmed bachelor just doesn't. It's not really super. I just didn't feel like deleting it, so whatever. Level 1, but with confirmed bachelor. Guess we're just gonna be getting one more. Yeah. We're gonna be getting a bit more than what we. What the fuck? Auntie. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna get like at least one more perk, I guess. Take your life as a lie. Okay, sure. If you're reading this, everything you know is probably less than accurate. You'll need to undress to don the helmet, then you will learn the truth. Godspeed, sincerely, Alexander Hamilton! What the what? A room where what the fuck? Okay. I'm confused now. Oh yeah, I was also gonna upgrade, repair, security stuff. Alright. Undressing. It's a gross chair to sit down in, but I'm sitting down anyway. And then activate this headgear. Oh! Yes, okay, so it was the way this mod had. Oh my god, this is probably going to be loud also if the regular intro is anything to go by, so I might want to turn it down. Oh my god, holy shit.
Changes. Makes a strong man weak and a poor man rich. The difference is decided by character. And if you don't think character is the only factor in deciding victory, then you've been playing the wrong game this whole damn time. The world was playing the wrong game 200 years ago. They learned what it meant to be found faulty in character. For their failure, They became a wasteland of nuclear hellfire. Now out there is a horde of men calling themselves survivalists, remnants of the old world, thinking they can get by just on the strength of their arms alone. There's a new California Republic, gambling away the glory of America's past on a legion of slaves trying to rise against their masters on some old forgotten highway. None of them have any idea what kind of character it takes to bring the greatest nation on earth back to glory. But down here, in Vault 18, you're gonna learn everything you need to know about winning that war. Right here, right now, on this battlefield. You are the last of America's finest men and women. You're the A-list. The rest of those idiots are a thing of the past. Now is your time. You'll get out there and show that you have the character it takes to bring America back to glory. Can I get a hurrah? Damn right! Now move out!
Interesting. Oh, there goes all my money. Okay, just loading. Okay. Half panicked for a second that game just crashed. Which again, not be New California's fault. Oh, okay, I don't care.
Make the
New
play.
California's fault or TTW Wasteland's fault. It's purely warriors, scientists.
God damn it, kid. What the hell was that? Huh?
It would not be Nail 2 Wastelands or New California. It would be my fault for downloading combine the two mods thing. Oh god. I'm sure something's gonna be irreversibly broken. But hey. Oh well. You know what I mean? Okay, just
I'm telling you, I'm not a medical doctor. I don't mind patching up one of my kids, but I'm not Dr. Rossman Medicine Man. Hang on. They're coming too.
okay.
Hey, kid. Wait, you're not ready to stand up?
Oh,
Man, I ain't got time for this.
okay. Oh, I got a broken leg apparently.
Take it easy now. You're coming out from under the effects of some heavy medication. Man, I can't believe this. I was this close to working out what was wrong with Jane. Without her, the vault's nuclear reactor will blow sky high.
Shane?
But no, I had to get yanked back to the hospital to treat some crazy kid who can't even grasp the basic concept of vault ball. Brains. Needs to grow more brains. You really knocked yourself out cold, kid. Nothing a couple of stim packs can't take care of. Now sit your ass down and let me take a look at you again. Damn.
Dr. Rossman, the robotics and computer analytics teacher?
One and the same. Surprised you recognized me through that haze of stupid you're in.
Hey,
What were you thinking trying to play football with the jocks? I'm sorry to break the news, kid, but the prognosis is in. You're a chronic nerd.
hey. What happened?
Aha! It speaks at last. Well, kid, you decided to play the unstoppable sword against the invincible shield. You tried to dodge Johnny Matheson, the meat shield of doom. As you can tell from the splitting pain you're in, you lost. Let's just get these x-rays going and see what we've got. Whoa! Scratch what I first thought. Stim packs ain't gonna do shit. Seems like what you need is a reality check. You ain't no warrior, kid. You're a scientist. You're way smarter than those patriots and barbarians. It's time you put that to use.
Where's Dr. Bishop, the real doctor?
I don't know. Jamie and Tara pulled you in from the gym and dropped you on the table like a sack of wet sponges. I guess Tara just grabbed the only doctor she could find. Dr. Bishop is in the hydroponics lab today, so you're stuck with me. Sorry.
Okay. What was that about nuclear reactors?
Huh. About that. I'm not a doctor of medicine. I'm a robotics expert. But I know a thing or two about mending wounds. I was just working on the Jane, a system that regulates the flow of water to the reactors. Some asshole's been throwing trash in our intake. I think it might be intentional. To be honest, this political nightmare over tomorrow night's election has me on edge. I wouldn't put it past Bragg and his patriots to sabotage our most critical system in an effort to make overseer Christensen look bad.
You don't like dealing with people much, do you?
Hell no, I don't. I'm a career scientist. I may have been born in the waste, but my heart is with the technology of this place. Cold, thoughtful machines are my first love. Humans? That's a machine I can't fix. That's why I like to escape every now and again. Lead away missions and scout the mountains, trading for technology. Keeps me sane and busy. I read this book once. Final line of the last chapter. Hell is other people. At least I think it was the last line. The book was burned for heat by some illiterate wastelanders. You see what I'm saying?
No, let's see what scoring computer's fault. I told Crouch Bragg he was setting me up.
Scoring computer? You mean Sarah? That slut? I wouldn't be surprised if that bucket of bolts started early. Listen, I'm sure the all-knowing Coach John Bragg the Magnificent could convince that whole team to jump off a cliff if he wanted to. But you learned a valuable lesson today. Men aren't to be trusted with leadership without questioning from the lower ranks. You ended up out there with no way to win? What made you want to be one of Bragg's patriots anyways?
I just wanted to be more popular. I hate being called a nerd.
Oh, really? Come on, man, give me a break. Let me spell it out for you. You're a nerd. Hardcore, unadulterated, 100% sex-proof keyboard barnacle.
Okay, you don't gotta be an
That's a
asshole
good
about
thing.
it.
Folks like me and you, we're supposed to use our brains to play the long game. The Patriots are playing by Darwin's rules. Now come on, tell the truth. Use your intelligence.
The generalized occupational aptitude test told me I should try.
Ah, that's it. The goat. Where'd you dig up that piece of communist trash? You must have been hacking into some pretty serious shit to find that. From what I know of Vault 18 history, the first overseer did away with that junk in the early days. This is a democracy. Down here, we rely on hard work and nepotism. I'm impressed, though. Glad you found it. But don't let other people tell you who to be. Ever. Say, nerds love science. I've got some work you may be interested in. Clearly you ain't gonna hobble out on the Bragg's field again. You will stand duty. You will do fine. You understand? That dude's a dick.
Okay, so cut to the chase, Rossman. When can I get back on my feet?
Foot. You mean, when can I get back on my foot? Autodoc says amputate. And I ain't one to argue with my machines neither. So unless you come up with a better prognosis or have a magic touch to fix this thing, I'm just gonna assume you're toast.
For God's sake, let me take a look at it.
There you go, shining like a star student now. I've already fixed your butt up as best as I could when you were knocked out. Listen, you've always been a really bright kid. I'm sorry for making fun of you, but you gotta understand, it's in your best interest to listen to me. I've got some cool stuff to show you in the lab. Computers with data 200 years old. Stuff nobody has time for. But you can fix it in your downtime. Let's get you on your feet and over to the vigor tester to make sure you got all your bits in the right place. Or, as right as your jigsaw butt is gonna be.
Damn.
How may I serve you, master?
Oh, the visit first. Remember it, this is... should be getting me to level 2. Oh, it did not give me to level 2. Okay, I can use it infinitely, apparently. Just gotta get to level 2. This is supposed to be where you get to level 2, and then once you level up properly, the 40 minutes. Just in case. get Swift Learner for more XP. There we go.
Come on. I'll show you where the old server is, and you can get to work.
How may I serve you, master?
I'm just gonna go follow. Oh, hi, Mr. Football.
Oh, hey. My folks are making me do this bullshit. So let's get it over with. Sorry for fucking up your leg.
You managed to tackle me because you're using chems, Johnny. I can tell from looking at you.
How do you know that? Fucking dork. But please, don't tell anyone about this. I can't lose my spot on the team. It's all I have. Take this. It's all the money I got. Just keep quiet. And if you don't, well, the last sound you'll make is that shot you take before you die.
Oh, Jesus. So, I mean, that's like
That leg must really be bothering you,
Good-
kid.
good
You're
chunk of
wobbling
money.
like a protectron with a loose screw. I'm sure your sister has
sister. Is Amanda here too? Hold on, let me up the voices.
something at home that'll fix you up overnight. You might want to check in with her when you get home.
All right. Jesus.
Hey, Carter. Where you going this time of the night?
Oh, just have to hand in some paperwork to Aaron in the Vault Security office. Albert gave me some late-night work orders after the big game.
Working overtime trying to get that cave straightened up.
Yeah, apparently someone tried to break into the terrarium. No idea why, but he wanted me to file a report.
Ha! Punks, probably. The wasteland is too dangerous to mess around with right now. Else I'd take them sightseeing. Show them how the survivalists treat misbehavior. It's better than babysitting this nerd.
Hey.
Waiting on him to get in trouble.
Oh, I didn't even notice you there. Sorry to hear about your leg. That must have hurt.
Well, it looks like it hurts.
Only the kid's pride. Listen, we gotta get to work. Take care, honey.
Yeah, sure. You two have fun.
Yeah, I'm having lots of fun here.
That Carter sure is a sweet girl. The kid's got too much time on your hands, being cooped up down here with no direction. Probably why Coach Bragg has such an easy time convincing kids that smashing into each other is a good idea. I remember when they first brought John down here. It was because the overseer said he'd be good for the kids and teach them how to behave. Not that I've seen much change. Time will tell.
I guess. I wish I was I'm still faster.
Long night in the computer lab. For sure.
I'm gonna have to turn this volume up like
We'll spend a lot of time in there. I hope you're having fun.
ball. Huh. Yeah, at least I don't feel like I'm too much slower than normal. I mean, yes, I definitely am. Still. So I've heard there's like a few different a few different sides, including like an enclave side. And I was thinking this first playthrough of New California, I was gonna try and get Buddy.
I'm glad we're safe here in the vault. I keep
I'm gonna
hearing
try-
rumors the Wasteland
There's
Scouts
the
are hiding
computer
something
lab.
from us.
Home sweet
Something they
home.
did outside.
I'm sure you'll be in and out of there more
I'm
than
gonna go- I
an
think I'm gonna do
athlete is in and out of
non-play
other
first
folks'
time.
business.
I don't know if that's like a bad idea, but
Oh, wow. Are you okay?
no.
Whoa. You look like you fell down the elevator shaft. What happened?
Nothing. I just got roughed up a little.
That doesn't look like nothing. Just tell me what's going on.
Johnny Matheson kind of plunged into me during the game, completely wiped the floor with my face.
That's awful. Why did he do that? He knows you don't belong on the football field. God, these stupid wasteland kids are always so fucking mean.
Hey, we're from the Wasteland too, Kira. We're all in this together.
I know. I just wish the others would see it that way. It's like they don't care that we're all from the same tribes or that we're all descendants of ancestors who left Vault 18. All they care about is themselves. It doesn't help that the old Vault dwellers are so rude. Without us, they would be helpless. Most of them are so old they can't remember how to use a toaster, let alone run life support.
Boomers, am I right? Look, I know life is tough, but so what? Not everyone is an asshole.
I'm not so sure. I don't get along with the wasteland kids or the old people, especially not my parents.
Well,
I just
sorry,
serve them.
parents.
That's
Interesting.
all.
Talk about what's going on in here. What's up with this old server?
Oh, Maria? I don't know. Computer science is my main focus of study, but I've never been able to crack her. It's almost as if someone purposely encrypted her systems in scaled tiers, trying to hide important data behind partition drives. Dr. Rossman asked me to go outside and repair a bunch of cables last week. Then a bunch of new topics appeared in her main menu. Is that why you're here tonight?
I guess. Yeah, he said it might be a good place for me to spend time recovering.
Well then, I think you're in the right place. I'm glad we can spend some time together.
Hey, when you said you wanted to spend time together, what did you mean?
Well, it means I haven't seen you much lately. I miss hanging out with you while I work. I feel better having you
Are you
here.
flirting with me?
You went on that football tangent and we haven't had time to talk. Why did you try out for Bragg's team anyway? He hates you.
You mean you want to be close to what?
Wait.
Am I flirting with her?
I just wanted to tell you that I missed you, okay? Let's try to avoid the romance options and charisma checks.
Okay, don't... oh. No, I'm not saying that.
You...
Okay, back. I'm not saying that.
Hey, need some help?
I was not going to say that no matter what the fuck they were saying. Sorry. No.
Okay, kid, I'm gonna leave you here for a while. This big computer mainframe is named Maria. She's a big box of mystery. Always has been. I have all the access nodes loaded up now. It's up to you to hack your way to victory and make me proud.
Okay.
Hey, have you seen my Programmer's Digest lying around? I hope you didn't read it, but it would explain why it disappeared.
Is down. Oh.
Checking ID. Confirmed. Hola. ¿Habla usted español?
Yes, but I'd rather continue in English.
Ah, that's too bad. Displaying main menu.
The system status used to access network server.
Displaying system status. Please restore all severed cables as outlined by Vault Tech Overseer Order 001 of the Day 1 instruction package. Please refer to this order is
Okay.
maintenance.
Tier 1
There are a
network
set of switches on the side panel of the main host gateway in the server core upstairs. The top tiers are currently disabled. You should switch them on to start the local area network. This will allow me to restore functionality to my basic functions.
Okay.
Man, I hope this election turns out the way I hope. Overseer Christensen or Coach Bragg. Not much of a choice if you ask me.
Okay. Just think.
Yeah, kid.
What should I do with this?
Ah, well, it's no problem, kid. You don't have to grow up overnight. If you look around, I'm sure there are some science textbooks and magazines laying around.
What happened to the external network connections on that old server?
Post-apocalyptic politics is what happened. Dumb lawyers doing an engineer's job. Once upon a time, Vault 18 was supposed to be the center of the American wasteland. We had this big machine at the core of that promise. But the Great War screwed that up quick. What wasn't blown to hell in about 30 minutes has been scavenged and sacked for small settlements. You see, the network was a set of cables running all over the country, and this server kept the vaults connected. But one by one, the others have failed. Some were destroyed, others just vanished. Then one day, 18 years ago, they all just blinked out. When the first overseer, a guy named Clint Dixon, took over Vault 18, He severed the links to the outside. Said it was a toxic influence. He kept a few cables alive, but severed the rest. It's just been little updates ever since, until they all stopped a few years ago. Now we just have what's left for you to play with. Hope you spot where those weird I.O. spikes are coming from.
Any other cool students I can work on? I'm done.
Yep. Now that you mention it, I'll let you head up to the main elevator and check out the robotics lab upstairs. Just drop my name at the guard and he'll let you in. It's dark up there. We keep the upstairs reactors offline to save power, so just follow the signs to the main entrance. You'll find the robotics lab at the end of the hall. Last door on your right before you reach the vault exit.
Okay. You're Wasteland Scout. Can you tell me what's up there?
Oh, you want to know what it's like in the great outdoors? Well, let me give it to you straight. It's hell upstairs, kid. A nightmare. The things you think about when you're in the dark and a clawed hand reaches for your shoulder. It's real, and it lives up there. Hundreds of them.
Oh.
But that's just the wildlife. It's the people that make you wish the war had really ended everything. But it only did half the job. Don't you forget this, kid. The strong prey on the weak, and the closer you get to society, the worse things get. The people that walk around up there are miserable, half dead, struggling to see tomorrow. Kids are starving, families are broken. Those that say they're here to help you are just waiting until you fear for your life, giving them what they want to keep you safe. Then you realize what kind of slave you become. That's what the wasteland is like. Don't ever think it's gonna change, because it isn't.
I see. I need to get going.
Later.
Okay. Easy peasy, I think.
Hello.
Oh, I can't sprint with my legs crippled. Oh yeah, I have. I forgot about that. A little bit of a forgetful sort. Now, Lucky, you can walk
Welcome
out
back.
me.
I hope you are enjoying. There are no tabs. Main menu.
Time. Tell your one network's
You've
offline.
navigated my menus to my satisfaction. Some local terminals are unlocked.
Okay. One terminal. Vault Tech auto alert. Automatic signal from Vault Tech. Blah blah blah. Clarence Dunnick. My God, it actually happened. We all thought it was a drill, but we went anyway. And now here we are. I ordered the vault door to stay open for 5 minutes longer than was defined in my directives. I still had MPs trapped outside. I saved them all and a few more than was called for. Now these two angry-looking Vault Tech reps are starting to edge closer. I have a feeling that they already have a plan for how to dispose of my body. And I'm pretty much powerless to do anything about it. Well, this isn't how I saw my opening going. Guard Chief Flint Dixon. This is Guard Chief Dixon reporting on that MP personnel have taken control of Vault 18. 48 hours of unrest and civil dispute, Vault Tech personnel in the overseer's office were arrested and sent to holding in jail. Officer Dovnik was found dead in his office in hours following the door being sealed by these agents, who had forced a cyanide capsule down his throat. For the rest of these Vault Tech agents, I hereby order that they be kept under house arrest until further notice. One of them I caught attempting to initiate the Vault's self-destruct sequence when he broke through the door, and I personally shot him through the eye. We will sort out the details later. Now, apparent to me and several MP guards, the Vault Tech program was never meant to save anyone. All I know the directives are viral experience on unwilling test subjects, sexual exploitations of minor and small animals, and can only be described as psychological torture of innocent civilians. Through the efforts of several computer experts and military servicemen, we gained control of the master computer and set it to defaults. Hundreds of live video feeds from other vaults were discovered, as well as active connections to the Vault server network. Sent former Army engineers to cut the cables to the Federated vaults not marked as controlled. Leaving them open would be a toxic influence and lead to disaster. Interesting. The vaults were never meant to save anyone. Stored in Overseer Dovnik's desk were directives from Vault. All residents of Vault 18 are to be subjected to round-the-clock live video feeds from across the country. All of the other vaults, all of those people. Vault 18 was an experiment. I can hardly wrap my mind around it. The world is over, and we were labyrinths. How could they do this? We shut off the computers before anyone could see it. The horrors those people are being subjected to. This information doesn't leave this terminal. It's recorded for future overseers only. We hold elections next Friday night. No one needs to know what happened. Guard Chief Dixon. I'm surprised the Vault residents elected me overseer, even knowing I very well may have put Dublin in his grave. When we overthrew the Vault Tech system, it was by the might of our MPs and ex-army personnel. We were praised as heroes and worshipped by the population. We were clearly outnumbered. We all swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. We merely reinstated a democratic electoral college. As military men, we are already very proud of our service, and the American people are basically programmed to praise us at face value. Unfortunately, what they don't understand is that most of us are very simple men of service age and completely unfit to hold any form of office. But because we were overpraised and treated with special permissions, we started to believe we had special rights and privileges not afforded to us in a civilian state. It's good to treat your military men with respect and gratitude. It's entirely another to make them feel like they are the sole proprietors of that gratitude and respect. We get complacent and arrogant, and a self-entitled military, quite possibly the most destructive force of democracy on Earth. Thus, the nuclear hell our world turned into, and my situation here, trying to keep my MPs from taking advantage of the population. What did you think so? I went into this thinking that my job as overseer was to keep water in the pipes, keep it clean, and make sure the lights stay on. Turns out that largely happens by itself, so long as the engineers have what they need. And the last part is that's key, because engineers have opinions, but they're smart enough to not open their mouths until they have proof positive that they are right. The only downside is that when they do open their mouths, it's an arrogant and often socially challenged way that fits everyone against them. Don't make my mistake. Engineers make poor lawyers. Whoever inherits this office after me, make sure you don't let anyone control the self-destruct button who is in an easy pinch. When they get these codes, we're done with Overseer Dixon. Huh. Why is it not 1, 2, why is it not just like 1, 2, 3? Mr. Tubbs. Hey, have you been out of your way? Have you guys been out our way in the past few weeks? Crazy shit has been going on all over this place. The NCR has been at war with these freaks in power armor. We haven't been able to synth any new colas, so we're running on reserves. If you guys find any, we're getting real thin in this bitch. Let us know what you can find. And hey, thanks for keeping us in the loop. I know we're not out of control and all, but it's nice to just chat with you guys sometimes, you know? Takes the edge off. Mr. Tubbs. Hey guys, we traded from Vault 3. Created a package of heating units for this weird reverse pulse. None of us have any idea what to do with it now that we've got it, so we're putting it in a locker until we figure it out. If you guys have any info, we'd appreciate it. Wow, we had no idea this whole thing worked. It's been shut down for decades. Hello from the Appalachians. Or what's left of it. Man, it's great to know there's a group of survivors on the West Coast. Looking forward to hearing back from y'all. Oh, 176. The NCR again petitioned us to join them even after we rejected their last offer. They seem to be turning hostile. Please be advised that we may be entering a combat situation in the near future. Gangs of New Reno increase the pressure, and the NCR pushing our way. We will not be able to maintain peaceful relations much longer. Vault City may fall, but we may wish that the following data stream be stored in archives. The Enclave, the NCR, the Brotherhood, no one must have it. Not even you. We have encrypted the transmission. Prepare 5 megabytes of space on your secure system. If you're unconvinced of its importance, know this. It is related to one of your own citizens. No one can be trusted. One day in many years, it may be revealed, but today, let the knowledge rest only in its memory. Project Brazil is not safe. They came for our hero to spell our doom. Brad Roach 2214. Okay. All 10. Nicola. This is just like base. Water leak in the lower levels. Water trip failing to open the vault to scavenge parts of the Vegas area. This is basically just like. It's just. Anyone is RAR. This seems to be just like basically explaining. I don't know, like want to do all of that, just explaining some vault shit. My father always told me that adversity reveals character. Coach Bragg said something to me along those lines before last week's tryouts for our new vault ball team. Man is a miracle. Gruff, impossible to take a read on. I can never tell if he's angry or just determined, but he's saving our children from themselves. When we adopted these children, they were mostly infants and toddlers. We had no sense of parental direction, and we were all in our late 50s, so set in our ways. We had no frame of reference on how to discipline or encourage children. As teenagers, one only has to examine the walls of the upper apartments to see the rebellion in their hearts, a rebellion they've been unfit to quell. I'm cautiously optimistic about this vault's future, but the startling reality is that if our enemies find themselves more organized in coming months, we are ill-equipped to handle them. We are not a young vault any longer. The median age for life expectancy is 102.9 years. I myself am 75. During the Exodus 60 years ago, most of those that left were youth 18 to 45. They're gone now. Our teenagers here are all that's left to stand between us and the outside world. I gave Coach Bragg these troubled souls to train them, to educate them. He gave them an outlet we could not, sports. Team building exercises, discipline. He moves them with almost military precision. It's incredible. In just a few short years, he has changed them so much. I'm truly grateful to him. I have a list from Coach Bragg on my desk. He called it the Master List. It has the names of all 300 citizens in it, organized in 3-lettered brackets. He and Chevy agree this is the order that our citizens should follow for duty in case of an attack by outside forces. Those that are at the top, the A-list, are on his vault team, the Patriots. The B-list has mostly young women on it, and only a handful of boys from the opposing Barbarians team. C has just a few, the Hall, the Hale children, and Dr. Russell. Ben Kurtz is noted with a stalker, along with Sean, Mandy, and Jason. Then there's the D-list. I am listed at the top, followed by everyone over 50. Just a second. Sorry. Nearly 250 stoles. It's a startling reminder of just how aged we are, just how frail our existence is. I signed off on the letter. Hopefully, should the survivalist raiders, the Brotherhood of the NCR prospectors ever find our vault, Coach Bragg can defend us against them. I'm loath to see the tribal children that we raised follow this way into war, but it is the only way. He knows them better than I ever will. Chief Evanson sent Dr. Rossman, Yeti Hale, Dr. Bishop, and Sergeant Norman out into the wasteland last week, as noted in my logs. It was sobering seeing them there in the vault gear room, dressed in their archaic rags and armed to the teeth, like watching old heroes ride off into the sunset in a cloud of swirling dust. The wasteland scouts, living legends. They seem so tangible here at home. Seeing them going off to on another adventure, just inspiring. Never been the same since Dr. Kyoto died so many years ago. We never did get a full explanation of what happened, just that she died of a virulent virus given to her by a prospector. It's hard to believe that the NCR betrayed the scouts. After all that they did to fight the raiders, to help defeat the Brotherhood of Steel in the war, after fighting the Enclave, gang bosses, there are even rumors that the Wasteland Scouts saved the world on numerous occasions. Why did I lose my spot? World on occasions. But this is the reality, and Coach Bragg warns us that the raiders or NCR may strike us at any moment. He believes that they know where we are. That is what this secret mission is about, to finally determine just how far the raiders have spread, how close the NCR is to finding us. The reports have been locked away behind the Tier 3 firewall. Rossman says that if his brightest students can crack into it, they might just be worthy Wasteland Scout candidate, but for the others, well, we've just hidden this away, the secret mission. No one knows where they've gone. No one so far has noticed. Okay. The work on the terrarium is nearly complete, and most of my administrative and executive controls have been shipped there. Oh my god. Sorry, keep getting text and stuff. Management and executive controls have been shipped there. I had men move the old spare master computer monitors from storage to the garden cave, and we've begun planting succulents, a lovely place for meditation. After this is finished, we will never again have to rely on the stale crumbs of our hydroponics lab. I love it there, and so does Jason. He has been helping us build the garden by a while. I'm proud of my son, no matter how rebellious he might be. He hasn't been sleeping at home with his mother and I fear his tribal origins may be weighing on his mind again. He chooses his brother and sister over us, along with the older star child. We installed this list of the last of the vault controls today, and as the hard locking mechanism for the self-destruct slipped into place and activated, I felt a pang of fear. Not the realization that it existed, but that I realized I wasn't afraid of it. I'd rather destroy this vault than let it fall to our enemies, and that is a feeling I'm not sure how to accept. Okay. Tier 1 terminal caught. Or on Wasteland factions like you. I've taken all the notes I've been able to find on these older Tier 1 terminals about where my real parents may be. Scouting reports don't really have any clue what happened, and they're as dense as college textbooks. I've learned about these candidates. Super mutants, slow, angry, and big. Some people say they eat humans, raiders. There seems to be all kinds of them. Cons, jackals, vipers. They were all beaten by the NCR and ran away. The Enclave, they were really bad guys that were beaten up by the NCR. I still don't know if they still exist. Brother Steel, maybe. They're technophiles who live in bunkers. Caravans, these guys just roam selling stuff. They're okay. gangs in the arena. They take slaves and all kind of stuff. The Slavers Guild, NCR broke them up, but they were treated as the others. The Sheep, all bankers and tech geniuses from San Francisco. I'll keep looking until they make me go home. Never want to go back. War in the Valley by Kira. Just a second again. Fuck. Christ. Okay, I'll probably have to just take a break after I'm done with this recording, so. Okay, sorry. Found a bunch of Tier 1 notes in the Tier 1 terminal about a fight in the Cajun Pass. It seems like the Wasteland Scouts have been fighting the survivalists since the beginning, but after the NCR began expanding, they fought back. Other survivalists take anybody willing to resist the NCR and hold the line at their base in Athens. It's not too far from here, and that's why we never go outside. Said that the survivalists take slaves. Maybe they took my parents. Did it. Dr. Rossman will help. He says I should learn to hack these old systems on my own. I'm only 10. I barely know how to type. My fake mom and dad won't let me stay here. He hits me when he drinks. I have to find a way out of here. I want my real parents back. Turning the switch. I haven't looked at these notes since I was 10, when they banned me from being in here. I'm 19 now, and I still don't take I don't know for an answer. I want out of this vault more than ever. I won't have to get out before they turn me into another one of their Cinderella bimbo baby makers. Sweet bitch Jen Hale caught me in the sister comparing the exterior connections. I don't know how she did it, fucking drama queen. Never right to tell the overseer that my dad does it in front of everyone. I'll kill her one day if we get the chance, I swear. Jeez. For now, I've learned everything. I've read every programming book, I've read every magazine, every report I could unlock. I know survivalists have my parents. I just need the last bit of proof. Then I need someone to unlock the main vault door. I'll go for it the first chance I get. Excuse me. Okay, I guess.
Hey, need some help?
I don't know your notes on the Exodites. First study.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of a hard thing to talk about. It's where our parents came from. Our real parents. None of the vault dwellers want to talk about it, and Dr. Rossman always shrugs it off. He says it makes him depressed.
I think you were right about the disappearances being caused by slavers. That makes the most sense, I think.
You do? Well, since you're unlocking these terminals, maybe you could try looking around for me? Maybe there's new data I missed.
I'll go try the terminal. Yeah, I'll get right on it. I'll go try the terminal hunt. I love reading.
Oh, great. You'll probably find it on one of the Tier 2 terminals. Just let me know if you can figure it out, and report back anything you find.
Okay. Yeah.
Welcome back. I hope you are enjoying your stay with Vault-Tec.
Maintenance menu. Tier 2
This should be exciting. You will have to restore several switches in the vault to restore my functions. I have sent their locations to your Pip-Boy. Have fun.
Okay. Hello, Chief.
Oh man, you got annihilated! You okay, little buddy?
Yeah, Dr. Rossman said you carried me to the infirmary. Thanks, I guess.
Dude, yeah, what was left of you? You should have seen it! It was like, Johnny was barreling right at you, and Bragg was all, "Get him, kid!" And you were all, "Ah!" And Johnny was all, "Arr!" And then blam! And then you were all, "Splat!" Then I get you to the infirmary, and they stripped you naked right there in front of me. It was awesome!
Hey, now that you've seen me without my armor, what? I don't really feel like flirting, but just what do you think?
Well, you sure are a star, that's for sure. I kind of liked it. Then again, I didn't get to see much since you were, flopping around like a dead fish. It looked like you were bent into a pretzel. It's a wonder you're still alive.
I have a feeling if I didn't work that past, you'd think different of me, like more than friends.
Huh, that's really forward of you. But you're right, maybe I would have. In another life, sure. Good night, pal. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay. I mean, you're
Good
kind
to see you,
stuck in
Nine.
place. Hello, Sam.
Watch
Oh my
out,
God,
he's
you're
got
old.
that
Gross.
Real hard asses about everything.
Hi, Johnny boy. Johnny.
Fuck off, dork.
No, Papa. Yo, what's up with
Whoa.
your armor, dude?
It looks like you've had better days. You should have someone check that out.
I'm gonna take this.
Hey, buddy. You alright? Oh, you must have just come back from the big game. I'm guessing everything went well?
Yeah, it was a great game. Where were you?
Oh, I'm not on the team anymore. Coach Bragg decided I'm some sort of freak and kicked me out last week. But hey, it's all cool. I'm a creative guy. I have all kinds of great stuff to keep me busy.
Yeah, I can see that. What are those?
Oh, these are my comics. I draw these because I don't know how to write. I never learned, but I know how to draw. They tell all of these stories and dreams I have. I really like to daydream and share them with people. It's cool to know those thoughts can exist outside my head.
I get the feeling those are more than just comics.
Yeah,
I guess.
me too. Some of them feel more like memories. I can't really see anything clearly, but I think that's why they make such good stories. I can take them and just fill in the gaps that I misunderstood, which makes for a really complex narrative. I don't know. Maybe everyone's first stories are really just misinterpretations of reality.
Fucking sweet, man. I love comics. Do you have any that are finished?
Yeah. Back in my room. You should drop by later. I'll show you some of the backstory of this issue.
Did you want to head there now? It's getting kind of late.
Yeah, sure. Let's head there now. We're right down the hall.
Okay. Why is your
Hey,
armor
kid.
like? Why is your
How's Maria treating you?
armor stuff like that? Mine. God, I'm screwed up. Do I have any stim packs? I probably don't have any stim packs on. I do not. And even if I did, I'm pretty sure you can't even use stim packs unless fuck. What was I saying? Can't even use stim pack unless your health is lowered somewhat.
So, I've got a bunch of cool art on the walls. Take a look around. Ask me about what interests you.
Is that New Vegas? Super mutants, maybe?
So, what'd you find?
Oh man, you're really upbeat. Most people I've seen tonight are total dicks.
Yeah, I don't know why. This vault is totally calm and a really nice place. I don't see how anyone could be unhappy down here.
Well, you don't think you'd see a little, cozy?
Nah, not really. Nobody's trying to kill me. I don't have to worry about major injury or theft. I kinda love it.
Where did you come from, dude? What's with the spears?
I honestly don't know what to tell you. I have a really hard time remembering. It's something that keeps me up at night. Dr. Osmond found me out there, just like everyone else. I came to the vault when I was way older than you guys. That was a couple years ago, and I've had memory problems the whole time. They've gotten better, though. I can hold on to things longer. But when I think about my past, I just... You know when you stare at a light and everything slowly just explodes with color till it's all white? It's like that. And it just gets hotter and hotter as I go back, like it was just burned out of my head with a fire that spread from branch to branch.
Well, what else do you have? And you forgot about the spears.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Osmond told me I should probably keep this a secret, but I have this note. It was kind of tucked into my pocket when the doc found me. You can read it on my terminal. I backed it up in case I lost it. It tells me that I was playing some kind of game, and part of it is that I took a drug that erased my memories. It's from me, by the way, but it doesn't have a name. It just says that I'm not the only one playing, and there's a girl out there too. I wish I could remember where I wrote it, or why. Having a girl would be great. I just wish I could recall. I remember flashes of golden grass, walking. I remember a house on a mountain, standing next to Dr. Rossman. Then I was here, and the images fade in and out until they get clearer.
So where did Ben come from?
Hell if I know. I think Rossman just pulled it out of his ass. I was way too old to adopt, and the old folks had already picked their kids years before I got here, so I just took Ben. After he said it, it took forever to get used to, and remember.
And those spears?
Oh, right. I don't know. They were tied to my back when I was in the wasteland. They have signs that they were used quite a lot. Every time I hold them, it's like my body remembers how to react. I know it's weird, but I think I've had quite a history with them. They're part of me.
Okay, cool. Let's look at this other stuff. What's this poster about? The cave with the guys in vault seats shooting at these figures.
Oh, right. Well, that guy in the center is Kurtz. He comes from that desert city and fights with knives. He's leading this vault to safety against those other dudes. I think it's Vault 24, I don't know. The other guys are like undead soldiers from before the war, really creepy shitheads led by a necromancer named Zax. They just want to bite the vault dwellers and turn them into zombies to power their army.
The giant green dude with the miniguns chasing the kid?
That's the last time Kurtz fought the cave giants at Cajun Pass. Your brother liked that story a lot. The first book is where Kurtz lost his friends to them, and the second was where he broke free. It may be a little sad, but he won in the end.
To be honest.
After that,
No,
he
I'm
met
a
the
nerd,
Vault
but,
guys
like,
and started fighting for him.
Kind of a dork nerd. City with a big tower?
That's where Kurtz grew up. The world he comes from is basically just a big desert, and there's only one city. That city is his home, but he left to adventure with his friends, to find a place to live where the owner of that tower can't find them. He kicked them out of the house and filled it with cement, so they left. They ended up getting lost, though. They couldn't find their way back.
Right? And you're just like,
They got turned
I
around
have
in a dust storm, and that's when the cave giants found them.
Alright, have a good night, man.
Yeah, no problem. It was great adding another fan to my list. I'll be drawing a new one soon.
Okay, I guess. Strange. But whatever. Child! Gross. Hate children. Okay, so boop, boop, boop. Okay, I'm gonna bet I do not have high enough
Welcome back.
stats.
I hope you are in.
Oh, tier 2 networks.
You have done well, young vault dweller. Maybe next time you will give me a turn reorganizing your internal organs. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
You unlocked a few more data stores. Please, avail yourself of this bounty of bitchy diaries and 200-year-old grocery lists.
Okay. Interesting. Tier 2, Terminal 1. Sergeant Danvers. After everything we've been through in the past 4 months, Overseer Clint Dixon, Dick, has ordered an immediate evacuation of the cave exit beyond the vault door. Vault Tech standard orders have been kept to keep the door shut for a minimum of 80 years. A series of hard locks and chemical timers have been set in place to prevent override of those controls. No matter what Dixon orders us to do, there's no way any of us are getting through that door. I've always tried to be a good man. I served 15 years with the LAPD before I agreed to join the Vault-Tech's MP program in the San Bernardino Alley. I fought in the Gobi before that. I know this isn't a place for personal reflections, but what I've watched in the past few months has made me question who I am as a human being and a law officer. We overthrew Clarence Duvnick, thinking he was the man who tried to have us killed, only to find out he was really the man that had saved us. Not until it was too late and he was killed by forced cyanide, by whom we may never know. Dixon left us as guard chief and became the new overseer. He made me the head of scout missions to the outside, but even after a total reversal of Vault-Tech orders, that door is still locked. The only scouting I have to do is that of my own soul. Deep, dude. It's been a little more than 20 years since I last updated this archive, but there still hasn't been any heat. The door is still frozen in place like it has been through a half dozen overseers and years arguing. No matter what, I know I will die waiting for the day I see the outside again through anything but that tiny security camera watching the darkness of the cavern. Sergeant Danvers, signing off. Bro, rip, dude. What? What the fuck is this? Like, why is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? That makes sense to me. Wow, this is the best Christmas of all time ever. After 80 years, the doors are finally opening. A bunch of us have gotten together and started planning our intended destinations. My granddad used to tell me stories about the world outside. Now it's finally here. I can't wait to go visit the Big Bear Lake in Pinehaven. Apparently they were really nice places. Green trees, big pools of water, tons of tasty fish. Granddad always wondered what could be left. And Dad told me that people are bound to be building everything by now. Before Granddad died, I told him I'd look up the stars for him the first step I take out of the cave, and I'm going to do just that tonight. The fact that it's just Acting Sergeant Elias, reporting back from Scouting Mission 0. Most of our party was lost on day 3 as we scouted the ruins of Big Bear Bridge. Found a band of heavily armored men who surrounded and disarmed us with flash grenades. At some point between my being rendered unconscious and reawakening, Sir Jackson and Sergeant Danvers commenced fire on the hostile assailants, but were quickly dispatched. Travers and I managed to escape the free line, but Travers was gunned down as we crossed the river. I was grazed in the left shoulder and left for dead. Stripped me of my uniform and weapons and left me on the shore. A woman from a colony of slaves awoke me some hours later and escorted me to the vault door. We brought her into custody and enjoyed an extended stay in our infirmary. Roads leading from Vault 18 to Pinehaven are mostly intact and clear of major debris. There's a crater leading the old military base, presumably from an atomic weapon. Pinehaven itself is utterly destroyed, save for a few central buildings. There are signs of an animal life, but none that we could see or recognize. There is no green foliage. There are cars on either side of the road for hundreds of miles, many of which seem to have been moved and stripped of useful parts. There's no visible sign of a restored United States. It appears the entire continent was completely destroyed by the war 80 years ago and has remained in a state of decay ever since. The woman we saved, Orica, is a slave from a city several miles away called Union City. She speaks Southern English, has good manners, and has provided us descriptions of a survivalist ruling party which conquered them several decades ago. Think about the mining operation at Athentech having been used as a staging area for this army of isolationists. This military operation is likely well aware of us now, so future missions along Highway 173 are ill-advised. She warned us of another danger, mean horde along Highway 18, but she's too ashamed to speak of them. We are planning several new scouting missions and an entire training regimen for new recruits. Interesting. Dr. Rogers. This is the 100th successful scouting mission launched from Vault 18. A proud moment. This morning, a team of myself, Cara, my wife, and our granddaughter Sarah had a picnic outside in the grass. It's growing nicely this spring. I remember when it didn't grow at all. How lovely. As there are 1,306 of us currently living in Vault 18, it's greatly satisfying to report that I've found several locations scattered around the Crestline Valley and the Angelus Heights fit for colonization. There is an NCR settlement in the far south, past the char of a San Bernardino Valley, leading us towards Sequisha. I cannot pronounce these words. That will serve as primary colony targets. I've spoken with several NCR representatives about the best possible locations, and they assure me that staying clear of our immediate area is essential. Then again, none of them have ever traveled I-15 like I have, nor care to. From what I am told, Tandy has no interest in this area. Not yet. To be sure, we have begun teaching our children a game in which they forget Vault 18's location and name. If they remember, they lose the game. It's becoming a sport among them. If we are ever tempted to reveal where the vault is, it will be an easy resistance because we simply will not know. Okay. That's a strange idea, but okay. There have been several tectonic shifts. That I believe are precursor to a much larger event. We are sitting just a few miles east of the San Andreas Fault. It runs right through the valley, beyond Athentech. While we are assured that the Vault 18 will survive the biggest quake imaginable, I'm loath to believe 140-year-old predictions. The cement shell has been curing for that amount of time, and good engineering will require a reassessment of densities across the whole shell, and the shock threshold of the sports at the very least. We're looking at a situation where we will begin digging our way out of the cavern. I'm suggesting that the colony attempt to hasten. We leave sooner. They're calling it exodites in the vault. Maybe we are exiles, but in my heart I know hundreds like me that we belong out there in the world among the tribes. Alright, weirdo. I guess. Sergeant Norman? Scouting report number 202. There have been rumors of Brotherhood of Steel scouts passing the area near Vault 18. It was said that they established a camp nearby, searching for pre-war locations in the mountain near us. Encountered the Brotherhood several times in various encounters. Yeti has several scars to tell the tale. In case we have a few students reading these logs, I'm going to tell you a bit about them. Brotherhood was formed from what's left of the United States Army over a century ago. They were once a huge organization, but now they're essentially a loose band of raiders. What of late is, we're the only salvation this tortured planet and its people have without us. Without us, humanity is sure to perish. That should give you an idea of what they're like. Relatively little is known about the early years of Brotherhood of Steel, but they acquired a ton of power armor from when they were still army men, and have taken to treating themselves like ancient knights of the Round Table. Odds are you've never read about that in the Blue Vault Library. Go look it up, it'll make sense after that. You even got their own King Arthur by the name of Max. Yeah, as in that Max. Don't know if he was the dumbass who led the Brotherhood into its grave, Jeremy in a past life, but my money's on Boss Maxon being some black sheep's second cousin they could quietly punt off to the Council of Elders. Brotherhood's too stuck in the mud of tradition. Odds are old man Jeremy could pass on the Brotherhood of Steel cog and they'd still follow him off a cliff. They tend to be shy. They scour the wastes for technology, building up some kind of storehouse meant to enrich humanity, or so they say, really just enriches them. They'll take anything you have and strip you down, leave you dead if they see something they like, especially if you're lesser people. Bad habit of... bad habit. Why am I so bad at this right now? This bad habit got them a war with the New California Republic. Their superior technology, the Brotherhood managed to give the NCR a good smack, even coming close to winning that war. But the Brotherhood's technological advantage was nothing compared to the sheer volume of the NCR military. The Brotherhood was isolated, undermanned. They froze themselves to death. The NCR kicked their ass and took everything they could get their hands on. We were part of that war in several places, basically starting it. Wasteland Scouts derailed several Brotherhood attempts to ransack Vault 18 and kept them chasing their tails, and eventually used their technology to turn them against the NCR. When they weren't paying attention, we had our friends in the NCR get a gander at their storehouse. After that, the greedy NCR politicians were salivating. War ensued. We'll check up on this and update the logs. Update. 10/02/2048. Fortunately, rumors have proven to be false. There's nothing in the area that would indicate Brotherhood of Steel presence, apart from an outcast located in Union City, specifically old Doc Marius, crazy sci-fi bastard was trying to impress Dr. Kyoto with his shiny suit of power armor. Pah. Crazy loves birds. I recommended her for fraternizing with locals and not informing us. Norman again. While on routine patrol, across an old Vault 18 exile settlement in the region, about 30 clicks from Union City. The place was a mess, demolished and abandoned, showing marks of a fight that must have took place some hours ago. Inhabitants were caught by surprise, probably by a force that was superior in numbers. There wasn't much sign of a firefight, no corpses were found. It seems the aggressors sacked the settlement in a hurry, destroying what they couldn't take and left with everyone dead or alive. Careful inspection allows us to discover a hidden nook behind one of the houses. Survivals were found inside, just infants and toddlers, all in the age between 2 and 4. Approximately, they were wearing exodite marks. 4 of them had little blue pentagrams painted on their bodies in various places, seeming to indicate a family name. They were terrified. 2 kids named Jamie and Eric, the oldest of the bunch, told us that demons took their parents and left them behind. They were too scared to even talk about it. They said that the demon woman hit the 4 with the tattoos in the nook. As soon as we got them out of that hole, it was like they just forgot it ever happened. They've been quiet on the subject ever since. Fortunately, no further tracks were found, and we were unable to determine what happened to the inhabitants. The settlement was small. My bet is someone told info on them to the passing slave caravan. The goddamn survivalists probably were involved in the process. They've been taking slaves left and right ever since that Elder Dragon son of a bitch took over after Rossman killed his leader, Boss Maxon. With the NCR pushing into the region, getting ready to liquidate the Enclave holdouts north of here, we have to be especially cautious. The NCR is winning the war with Brotherhood, but just barely. They're in hard economic times. They're destroying tribes, wiping out whole civilizations, tearing apart towns going back generations. It's like they're trying to turn the entire California wasteland into a farm for taxes and soldiers. After we blew up the ethanol reserves at Athens Tech, they've been on a campaign to absorb every last raider tribe from Washington to Texas. They were a ragtag organization just 80 years ago. Now they're turning into a war machine. The NCR keeps pushing around raiders like dirt on a wet floor. That dirt is starting to run off into the gutter of Athens Tech mine. Rossman petitioned the Overseer and Council, which ordered an emergency session to admit the orphan children as vault residents. These kids are our ancestors' blood. They're us. They may be dirty, starved, and terrified, but they're us. We're immediately rushing back out to scout the other 6 villages. villages. If the raiders are trying to take revenge on our tribes, we need to know. But I get the feeling this isn't just a revenge thing for a desperate grab for manpower. I think someone or something is turning our tribes into baits. Mr. Rossman, or Dr. Rossman? We found the remaining Exodite tribes, numbers 6 and 7. They have been destroyed along with the others. This time we were too late. The children there were dead, likely from starvation. Scouts blame themselves. Truth is, I blame myself. This isn't the place for self-reflection, but it is my duty to report my failure. As lead scientist, I'm responsible for making technical suggestions. But as Wasteland Scout, it's my job to keep these people safe. We're more than just the defenders of Vault 18. We're protectors of humanity. We promised them when we left Vault 18 decades ago that we'd never abandon them in the wastes, that our mission was to protect not just our little vault, but everybody from it. I'm the leader of that operation. I hesitated to fight an unknown enemy, and for it, a dozen kids are dead. Tribes 6 and 7 were nomads. They didn't have a permanent settlement. Whatever came after them knew who they were. The Enclave is too bogged down with the NCR war to go back to their own scheme, so it can't be them. Brotherhood couldn't care less about us. NCR wouldn't do something like this, not on purpose. We've rescued all the kids we could. Whoever's targeting us has won. It's time we draw the line where we know that we can protect the vault and bunker down. Union City has been invaded and successfully taken by the NCR, but it looks like we've lost them. In our last reports, we've documented the agreement Dr. Rossman reached with the slaves of Union City and the NCR Colonel, Bill Silverman. The NCR is aware of the Wasteland Scouts and our exploits. They've watched every episode, it seems. Big fans of the show, or so we thought. The NCR sent prospectors to take over Vault 18. They killed Dr. Kyoto and left us covering our butts. These mercenaries chasing us back to Vault 18, we had no choice but to kill them. The NCR learned of it and branded us enemies of the state. Rossman specifically is called in for treason. They declared Vault 18 and Athens equally annexed NCR property. They stormed in and took over the ethanol fields at Union City in a 3-week battle that left the entire region a glowing mess. Survivalists under Eldritch Dragon have made a big impression on the NCR brass. NCR thought that they would be a pushover. They were wrong. Eldritch Dragon came ground just to suck them in, that burned his own field under their feet. The fields are full of explosive mutant corn. What? Mutant corn. Probably killed 400 NCR soldiers in 30 seconds. Death by popcorn. Nasty. As was documented, the Great Khans, the Vipers, Jackals, all the miscellaneous raider tribes with the names or no names have flocked from across the wasteland to join the survivalists. The NCR has pushed them to utter desperation, enough to overcome decades of internal fighting and band together. We thought this battle was in the bag. The raiders were finished. We were wrong. But the survivalist message of freedom and isolation, of tax-free utopia and anarchy, has ironically created a grassroots movement of epic proportions. The NCR angels swept California clean of the devils they sought to destroy, and all the demons came back to hell. Athens Tech Mine. Now they're all here on our front door. NCR is bogged down fighting the Brotherhood now. That war may or may not go in their favor. Until that's resolved and they lick their wounds, the NCR has given up on Athens Tech. Raiders keep growing in numbers, hunkering down. They're sweeping the valley for us, looking for revenge. Chief Evanson has called it in. We're locking down Vault 18 until further notice. We'll close the door, start raising these kids we saved from the wasteland, and that'll be it. Our adventuring days are over. Wish it was on a better note.
Hey, kid. How's Maria treating you? Hope she ain't too much of a
What, are you
girl.
nerding out too, Johnny? You're the one that broke my fucking leg. Highway picture 1. Cool. Highway picture 2. Cool. Highway picture 3. Cool. Highway picture 4. Cool. Image log 1. Cool. Yo, it's a face! Nice. Interesting. Interesting. Miss Thing.
I was looking through some of the terminal entries you unlocked.
I found some notes where Sergeant Norman blamed the survivalists, well, in theory.
Yes, that's exactly what I expected. The survivalists. They keep slaves from what I'm told, hundreds of them. If our parents were captured during some long-forgotten battle, they were surely taken as prisoners.
Thousands. They keep thousands of slaves, not hundreds. They're scary people.
They may be scary, but all people have one tragic flaw. They're still human. There will always be a way to defeat them, no matter how many there are. Why the New California Republic hasn't decided to take them out, it's inconceivable. They're nothing but raider scum.
I think you should stop. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Raiders? What else should I call them? Oh, I'm sorry, that's not what they call themselves? I don't care if there's more to their philosophy. You're not apologizing for them, are you? Well, I intend to kill them one day and get my mom and dad back, no matter what you think.
If they're still alive, I hope it helps you rest easy, Kira.
It does. It's very exciting. Now I will have a place to start my research and maybe form some kind of plan.
I think I'm gonna turn in. Thank you for your help. I mean it.
Alright, so that was a lot of reading, and there's probably gonna be more reading next episode, but that's the end of this episode. I hope I get my leg fixed.